All right, so I just finished My Hero Academia Season 2, which was a pretty good season, both halves, Part 1 and Part 2. The second half, they were doing their internships, and the first half, they were at the tournament. So, watching the whole tournament arc, after I watched the first season, I wasn't entirely sure how the second season was going to affect me. The first season really hit me pretty hard with Deku's character and the fact that Deku was kind of like the, what do you call it, the underdog, I think that's the word I'm looking for. And just watching how his character grew was just amazing. It was great. He went through a lot of development, but I think maybe if you understand his character and what he went through, then you would understand more about the growth that he went through and some of the ways he was inspirational. Sadly, I don't know all the characters' names because I just kind of been watching it in marathon, so I haven't had time to process, but I'll do my best if I stumble on someone's name anyway. So, well, I think I'll just say the second half. I'll start with the second half. So, watching the second half of the second season, it was a little darker than the rest of the show. Ida was trying to get revenge for his brother and everything, and we were introduced to Stain, the hero killer, and he was saying how heroes are just, they want to be glorified and things like that. A lot of the heroes aren't real, but yeah. So the second half of the second season introduced a lot of interesting characters. The first half, also, they're at the tournament, so a lot of powers are being shown. So, okay, let me see. When it came to feeling inspired, I guess during the first half, I actually felt the most inspired when they were at the tournament. It really helped me see a lot of, me, myself, what my strengths and weaknesses are, and just when certain people come my way, when certain obstacles come my way, to just kind of, how can I be prepared to overcome them, no matter how odd the matchups will seem for me in my life and whatever obstacle I have. What strengths do I have, whether it's my intelligence, my determination, my reason for doing it? Just what is it that really pushes me to overcome whatever obstacle or problem is presented right in front of me? First half of season 2 really kind of made me question that about myself and about my life. I feel like it was really good to question ourselves about that when certain things hit us or come our way. What tool do we have to overcome that situation? Just what do we have that can help us overcome or grow into what we need to overcome that situation. Sometimes we don't have what we need right away, but if we have something, I guess, unchecked inside of us, that unchecked part of ourselves can trigger the strength that we need in the moment that we need it. I guess that's what I was trying to say to further elaborate. Also, there was one character, he had like purple hair, and I guess his ability was whenever people speak, he can control their body, and people were saying how, that was a villain power or anything. All of us have gifts. All of us have something that makes us special or unique. And, if we want to do something with our current skill set or whatever, then we can do whatever we want with it. We can direct it any way we want with it. And, if some people might say that, or we might think ourselves that, what we have will probably hold us back from achieving what we want with our gift, with our talents or whatever. But sometimes, the motivation behind who we are and what our gift is, those two formulas mixing together can sometimes give a satisfying outcome. It can a good outcome for us. no matter what we have, we can always direct it any way that we want to, as long as we just have faith in ourselves and we don't give up and we just do what we want to do. People will talk bad about us all the time. They will discourage us, whether it's on purpose or by accident. We will take it differently as individuals, whether people mean to hurt us or not. And sometimes they stick with us and they can hurt us, but always know that you have the choice to get up and just keep going for it, for whatever it is you want to do. And, if there's something that you want to do personally, no one else has the right or no one has the say so to tell you what you can do with your own talents or yourself. That's what that one character taught me, and I wish I knew his name, but he was only there for about 2 episodes. Let me see. Another thing that I also learned is, no matter what you want to do in your life, no matter what where we're trying to go, sometimes we all need to find that, I guess, that nindo, that motivation, that drive, that thing that really pushes us into going into the next level. Yeah, some of us, we have simple goals. We just want to do something simple, get a job or something. But sometimes there's more that we want to do, and yeah, sometimes there's just more that we all want to do, and yeah, we can always grow into getting there. Let me see, another thing. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It was something, a really strong message I got from season 1, which was, I don't know. I guess focusing. Yeah, when Deku and the ice fire guy were fighting. Sometimes there are parts of ourselves that we will deny, but it is important to know that what we are, what we have inside of us, is a part of who we are. No matter where it comes from, no matter the meaning behind it or whatever. Sometimes, what we have inside of us is ours. Even if someone gave something to us and they said, this is for a positive reason, you yourself have to learn to take control of your power and direct what you have for yourself, no matter what someone inflicted on you. And that can go pretty deep, even on a psychological level, where someone hurt you in other ways, and you probably feel like, this that I have, whether it was a type of pain inflicted or whatever, you might say, oh, I don't like this. I don't like that I got this from that person. I don't like that I share the same DNA as that person or whatever. Sometimes we just have to think about our memories, dig into our memories, and, we're left with scars, and the scars can really hurt. But sometimes we also have to understand that, even if the past is bad and the past hurt us and we're traumatized by the past, there's always some good memories in there. There's always something good in there somewhere. And, sometimes in bad situations, it's up to us to create the good in these situations. We have to be willing to just face whatever it is inside of us blocking us from seeing the good. And sometimes we have to just create our own good memories from the bad memories. And I wish I remember the guy with the ice and fire. That was a message that character taught me. And I guess with Izuku, his character kind of taught me, just do the best with what you got, but also you can't really be careless about it. It's okay. It's good to be determined and to just, really do the best with what you have. Just be careful not to fall too deep into a hole, which when it gets to that point, you'll know. Well, you'll know. But just don't have any paranoia. Anyway, also, sometimes minor victories or everlasting victories are the most important, are more important than momentary victories. Everlasting victories are more rewarding than present victories. Anyway, like Izuku, he could have won. He could have won in his match, but he understood his enemy and he helped his enemy fight an inner battle, an inner struggle, which I guess they were enemies, but he helped his enemy with an inner struggle and helped him to find his full potential and find a type of peace within himself. He helped him along a path that the guy had to go through himself, but still, Izuku Deku reached into his heart and allowed him to at least open up that side of himself, so that way he could explore his own, demons or whatever. So that was another thing. And the last thing, I think his name was Bakugo, and Iraraka. What they taught me in their fight, in their matchups, was most of the characters. What they actually taught me was about, can you be satisfied with your victories? Like with every struggle that we have, everything that we do, how we do it. Even if you win the race or whatever, could you actually feel satisfied, or could you actually feel good about how you won, or why you won? Just how winning. There's a really thin line between winning. Sometimes you can win something, win a trophy or something because you were voted. But, you yourself sometimes have to find your own trial within every situation. Your own, I guess, I don't know, goal within a situation. And I guess a secondary goal. But, as you do that, you will eventually, I guess, when you find the inner thing that you're trying to achieve, like if you're acting in a movie or something, you could have a personal goal to do something, to test your limits, to test what you can do. And you act in the movie or whatever, and then the movie comes out, and you could probably feel like, I could have done better. I know, I didn't have an opportunity to do better in certain scenes, but then the movie itself wins a reward. You could say that, okay, you won, but at the same time, the internal part of yourself kind of feels like, I know I could have tested my limits better and I could have done better. Also, the reverse could also happen, but just think about everything. Just think about what you achieve, and if you can actually feel satisfied with what you've achieved, or from further on, can you be satisfied with everything that you do? And if you achieve it, are you satisfied with it? What were the details that you put into it? What kind of heart did you put into it? How much of yourself did you actually put into this thing? And how much was it rewarded after you came back out of it, after you evolved from it? So, My Hero Academia Season 2 really taught me that as well. Just to, just be more mindful about victories and always push yourself to the next level in some way, personally. And just to never give up and find a motivation. Okay, so second half. Second half wasn't as deep for me, but actually I don't know if I have much about season 3, or I'm sorry, season 2, part 2 of season 2. I guess one thing is when the teachers were fighting with the students, some in life we're going to have matchups against us that are completely into that are completely just attacking our weaknesses. Like whatever our weakness is in life, sometimes we'll be presented with a situation that is purposely against that. And if we are aware of it, how can we be prepared to overcome what we know we're lacking or we know is our weakness? And how can we overcome that to better understand why we do the things that we do in our life, and to give ourselves proper or accurate direction of what's really in our hearts and what's really going on, or what we really are trying to achieve. So the second half of that actually taught me that just what our weaknesses are. And me myself, I could see some weaknesses. Sometimes I'll be in a rough situation, and I guess this could be for everybody, in case you weren't aware of it. Whenever we're in a situation and it hits us and we're just like, no, I'm done with this, I don't want to deal with this, just get it away from me, get this whole situation away from me. Sometimes we'll have that situation come to us, and we'll feel completely hopeless or something like that. And sometimes it's there because, an obstacle, now when I think about it, almost every obstacle is an obstacle because it faces off against our weakness. If we were already strong enough to overcome it with ease, then it wouldn't really be an obstacle. It'd just be in the way, if that makes sense. Sometimes we will find a person and they will be nice to us, and we'll say, hey, this is a nice person, I want to give them a chance, but I've been heartbroken. Being heartbroken is a weakness. It can be a weakness when it comes to trying to love a person that you want to love, or even receive love from a certain person, or a certain thing like a pet, or a child, an adopted child, or your own, or a partner. Sometimes we're in relationships and we're in it for a reason, and then we accidentally find out we're in love with this person, and what happens is we turn on them and we start to hate them, or we treat them badly or something like that, or we just get angry with them for no reason. And really it's because our own heart is broken and we're using it as a defense mechanism. Just if you want to go somewhere, see what's holding you back from getting there, and learn how to overcome it within yourself internally, and just go for what you want. Last thing I will say, Yayarozu, I believe her name was. Sometimes the best way to also overcome an obstacle is to go straight into it. Uraka taught me that when she fought 13. Sometimes jumping into a situation is the best way to win the situation. So Yayarozu, something bad can happen to us. Something can happen to us that can break a part of us emotionally. Sometimes it can break our confidence. Sometimes it could just break our talent, something like that. What we do is everything can be fine, and then a situation can happen that builds up a wall that kind of blocks us or separates us or blocks us from being the person that we were before this traumatic situation happened. Doesn't mean that we're completely disconnected from it or anything. Doesn't mean we're disconnected. It just means there's just a wall just separating or blocking us from contacting it. So what Yayarozu kind of taught me in this situation is, communication has to be good. Putting yourself in a situation, into every situation 100% is important, because if you don't put 100% into everything that you do, then you will not get 100% back, or you will not grow 100%. Even if you do fail, you have still grown in any situation as long as you put all of yourself into it, because you know what your limitations are, and you know what you could have done next time, and you know in what ways you can grow, and you know how far you've come. Sometimes when we have that wall that blocks us, breaking down the wall reminds us of what we can achieve, or it reminds us of why we were strong. Sometimes we are amazing people. We are capable of amazing things. And sometimes when traumatic things happen to us, we feel like we're blocked off from this thing. But really, it's just we have to go through the trials of reclaiming what it is we already have. It's still there. We just have to understand in details why it was ours in the first place, why our heart was strong in the first place, why we were confident, why we were smart. Anyway, so always just put 100% of yourself into something. Even if you're doubtful about something, putting all you have into it is important, and it is what matters. You never know if you'll succeed or you'll fail unless you try. And even if you do fail, let that be a lesson that you're still alive and you still have the opportunity to do it again. Anyway, so this was my review for My Hero Academia Season 2. Yeah, I did the whole thing. I'm trying to think if there's any other messages, because once I stop this, that's it. But I think there were some good messages in there that I've exploited or talked about. Hopefully what I've said will help people who listen to it, if you made it this far. But yeah, I think those are most of the I guess, yeah. So also, just know that the gift that you have is who you are. It's not just an on and off switch. You can use it here or use it there. Just know that your gift is actually who you are. It is what you are. It is your personality. Your personality is your gift. How you express that gift is just a quirk. Anyway, have a great night, and I really hope this helped you guys out. I'm just doing the best I can with what I've got, and hopefully you're doing the same thing. Have a great night. Bye.